Have you ever done this? I feel dizzy even when I'm still. I don't feel refreshed when I sleep. When I forget for no reason. Oh, it's because you're old. Did you skip it? By the way, it may be a scarier signal than you think. Dementia, Parkinson's disease, sleep disorders. It all starts with hidden symptoms behind your back. If your body's balance collapses, the brain quietly sends danger signals. And the signal is, it starts with your spine, your posture, and your day habits. In today's video, from the reason why simple back pain can affect brain health, how can you clean your brain by yourself? And I'll tell you how to actually practice brain health in your daily life. Not many of you know that this brain change often starts at the back of the waist and neck, which is the back of the back. Now this video, it may change life in the future. Listen to the end. Everyone, have you ever felt this way? These days, I keep getting dazed. I'm tired for no reason. And I can't sleep well at night. I feel dizzy. Sometimes I stutter and I can't think of anything. Whenever that happens, everyone says this. It's natural because you're getting older. Everyone over 60 is like that. But is that really the case? Today, I'm going to show you, I'd like to tell you a very careful and important story. Just in case you passed it without knowing. But it's about little signs behind the back that you can't just pass over. The institution that we should be most sensitive to our health and our lives. That's the brain. The brain is the head coach that directs our entire body. It doesn't hurt noticeably. It's changing little by little. Most people don't notice the change and just walk by. But surprisingly, not many of you know that this brain change often starts at the back of the waist and neck, which is the back of the back. When I treat a lot of senior citizens in this hospital, I often encounter this kind of case. I thought my back was the only one who was sick, but at some point, my words got twisted. I couldn't sleep well. There are people who say, my head is blurry. If you do the examination, it's not just a joint problem. There are quite a few cases where abnormalities in brain function are starting. The reason is very simple. We don't use our heads alone. This is because they live in a state connected to the entire body, especially if the central axis of the neck and back is crooked. Blood flow to the brain decreases, and the waste cleaning function produced by the brain begins to decline. Let me explain easily what this cleaning function is. When we move, think, remember, and feel emotions all day, the brain also produces waste. It's like brain debris, so to speak. What if we don't clean this up properly? Your head becomes increasingly confused, and you end up approaching the threshold of dementia. But it's a substance called cerebrospinal fluid that's responsible for this cleaning. It's made in the brain and repeats a cycle that goes down and back up along the spine. But do you know what's stopping this flow? It's the wrong position and the twisted back and neck structure. To put it simply, if your back is bent or your neck is forward like a turtleneck, the flow of this cerebrospinal fluid begins to stagnate, as if the drain had been blocked. What happens then? My head is not getting clearer. My memory is not good. You won't be able to sleep deeply. And if these changes are repeated, at some point my words got twisted. I can't think of a person's name. I keep forgetting the appointment. At this point, isn't this supposed to happen when you're old? You can ask. Of course, it is natural. That brain function declines little by little as you get older. But normal aging and the road to disease are clearly different. The thing that's on the border is changes in posture, spine distortion, and symptoms hiding behind your back. For example, the shoulder often gets stiff. I'm tired even after I wake up. When your head is heavy and you can't concentrate. This may not be just fatigue or stress. I'll tell you the story of an elderly man I treated before. He was in his mid-70s. When you first came here, your back was often stiff and you couldn't sleep. But I couldn't think of any words during the consultation. You know what? You know. He hesitated. When I saw that, I thought it was weird. So I did a brain function test. There have already been early findings of mild cognitive impairment. He's never been particularly concerned about his brain health. The posture wasn't good either. I used to keep my head down and look at my smartphone often during the day. The behaviors that I thoughtlessly went overboard. It's been having a bad effect on the brain for a long time. So there's only one key point of this story today. Dementia doesn't come all of a sudden one day, but it starts quietly behind your back. If you've been spacing out lately, I can't concentrate. If you feel like you're saying something wrong, don't just blame your age and move on. It could be an important signal from our bodies. From now on, how do you notice the signal? How can you stop it? What would be good to change in life? Let's talk about it step by step. We often think that dementia is a disease that occurs only in the head, but that's not really the case. The seeds of dementia unexpectedly grow quietly behind the back. My neck is often stiff, and I feel like my upper back is pulling. If you feel dizzy or blurry in front of your eyes, it may not be just a matter of fatigue or aging. I'll tell you a story. A 72-year-old man who lives in Seoul. My daughter-in-law is worried that her memory seems to have declined a lot these days. She said she was fine, but the family felt something different. You might get lost in your usual market for a while. There was a time when I went out without turning off the gas light. I took a brain scan at the hospital and got tested. It's not enough to be considered dementia yet. I was diagnosed with initial cognitive decline. But the most noticeable symptom of this old man it was the so-called turtle neck position where the head fell forward a lot. My right shoulder was always lumped together. Correct your posture. Walk lightly 3 or 4 times a day. I've been stretching consistently. My memory gradually stabilized, and my forgetfulness was noticeably reduced. Is this a simple coincidence? It's not like that at all. Our bodies are connected by a single passage from head to toe. The spine is at the center of it. The spine is not just a bone that supports the waist. It's a very important channel connecting the brain to the whole body. The cerebrospinal fluid that's made in the brain. It flows down this path, washing your brain. It plays a role in discharging waste. But if this passage is twisted or narrowed, I can't clean it properly. It starts to leave debris in the brain, especially when the neck bone or cervical spine is twisted. Not only does the blood flow to the brain decrease, the circulation of cerebrospinal fluid is also disrupted. Eventually, this manifests as symptoms such as memory loss, concentration loss, and sleep disorders. The problem is that these changes happen very slowly. It doesn't come all at once. It's been going on for months and years. You and your family think it's just because of your age. That's why it's more dangerous, especially when the tension between the back and the back of the neck becomes chronic. The nerves themselves become sensitive. Your whole body becomes uncomfortable and your mood sinks. Depression, irritability, lethargy, and so on also start here. Wait, shall we self-check one thing here? If one of the following is applicable, from now on, you need to correct your lifestyle. First, I look at my smartphone, more than 3 or 4 hours a day with my head down. Second, my neck is often stiff and my shoulders are always lumped together. Third, even if I sleep, I don't feel refreshed and have frequent headaches. Fourth, I forget my memory and often get speechless. Fifth, the posture is gradually collapsing as the back bends. These symptoms are not just a problem with muscles or joints. It could be a signal that affects the spine to the brain. Never take it lightly. Okay, so what can I do to clean my brain? Can this flow be restored? The most important thing is to correct your posture. When you sit down, put your hips deep into the chair. Put a little strength on your stomach and raise your waist. Don't lean too much against the back of your chair. If you put a thin cushion on the back, it is much better to maintain the natural curve of the spine. And keep your head above your shoulders. Make a habit of pulling your chin lightly. This one alone makes my throat feel at ease. Headaches can also be reduced. Also, at least 3 times a day. Take some time to stand and walk slowly. You don't have to go anywhere far. I'm going around the house and waving my arms lightly. The gaze is to look straight ahead and walk. The important thing at this time is the consciousness of walking with your back open. If your back is bent, the circulation to your brain is blocked again. And do some stretching to relax your back and shoulders before going to bed. While lying down, slowly flip your legs to the side. Relax your muscles around your back. Stretch your arms up and gently turn your shoulder joints. This is the brain cleaning exercise. Even if we don't take medicine separately, these small movements can make your brain much clearer. Last but not least, sleep posture. If the pillow is too high or too low, the neck is bent and the cervical spine's blood flow is disrupted. When you lie down straight, the pillow makes the natural curve of your neck. It's best to support it slightly. If you sleep sideways, it's also helpful to raise the pillow as high as your shoulder. All of this doesn't cost money. You don't have to go to the hospital. These are things that anyone can do right away at home. After all, what matters is a small change. That little change, our brains, our memories, our lives, it can be the first step in protecting them. From now on, straighten your back, raise your head, make a habit of taking more care of yourself. This is the beginning of backside care that prevents dementia. While listening to what I've said so far, there are quite a few of you who feel it's like my story. In fact, our bodies are always sending signals. My back keeps pulling. My head is heavy. Have no clear head or energy. It's all like, I need to rest now. Please straighten me out. My body is talking to me. But we are busy. I have to look at my grandchildren. I have to go grocery shopping. There's no end to housework. If you spend your days like that, small signals in the body are quickly buried. So at this time, I hope you listen carefully for me. So let's be specific. From today, I'm going to show you easy habits that I can practice. I'll summarize a few things and tell you. First, 3 times a day, make time to set me up for only 5 minutes. I wake up suddenly, even though I'm sitting down. Straighten your back and lean your shoulders back. I'm looking up a little bit. At this time, look slightly higher than the front. It's awkward at first, but 3 times a day, just 5 minutes a day. The back and back of the neck will be much more comfortable. Second, when you sit in a chair, use a cushion to keep your posture alive. If you sit on a cushion that's thin on your hips, the waist naturally builds up. If your knees are slightly lower than your hips, your spine is aligned correctly, so your neck is less bent. It also reduces pressure behind your back. Third, invest only 10 minutes every evening to do a cleaning exercise around your neck. Slowly turn your neck from side to side in the lying position. Stretch both arms up and gently open the shoulder joint. And cross your legs to the side, stretching to relax your back muscles. Even with these simple moves, the flow of cerebrospinal fluid becomes much smoother. Even the waste accumulated throughout the day gets out more easily. Fourth, please organize your sleeping posture. In particular, stomach is the problem. Too high a tummy can bend the neck bone. If it's too low, there's a space between the back of your head and your shoulders. It makes your muscles more tired. When I lie down straight, a low belly with a slightly supported neck, when lying on your side, it's best to have a stomach as high as your shoulder. Just changing a pillow. The next morning's brightness may change. Fifth, don't just think of walking as a mobility. Keep your spine up when you walk. Your eyes are on the front. Be conscious of every step of the way, to the point where I'm a little out of breath. A little faster, waving one's arms naturally. Just walk for about 30 minutes a day. This walking time can be the best medicine for the brain. Sixth, check my backside sometimes while looking in the mirror. I don't know if my head is falling forward. I don't know if one of your shoulders is drooping. I don't know if my back is too bent. The backside it speaks more accurately of brain health and memory. Seventh, put down the word "you'll be fine" as of today. Even if your neck is stiff, even if you pull your back, even if I keep waking up, don't just pass it over and check it again. Early detection leads to rapid recovery. Before the dementia deepens, the body signals first. Eighth, it is also very important to have a bright mind. If your neck and shoulders are heavy and uncomfortable, it makes me feel down easily. I want to avoid people. I'm going to talk less. Naturally, cognitive decline. On the other hand, If your body is light, your mind is light. Today, I look in the mirror and say, "You're doing great." Say something to yourself. Every word is a great gift to the brain. Now you know, dementia isn't a disease that comes all of a sudden one day, that it is the result of a small lifestyle. Straighten your back and neck. Straighten up. You walk properly. If you take care of your daily life step by step, the brain is obviously longer, clearer. They'll stay with us. And most importantly, this is the container that starts now. Tonight, check the height of your pillow before you go to bed. Open the day with 10 minutes of walking tomorrow morning. And a week later, a month later, I've gotten a lot clearer. You'll feel it for yourself. By then, the word dementia, it might feel a little far away. Shouldn't we all live like that? The story I told you today, if there's someone you want to tell you, I recommend you listen to it together. And everyone, this healthy story, if you want to continue, subscribe, like, and join us in the comments. Your interest and support. To more people, it is a great help so that the wisdom of life can be reached. Thank you for being with us so far. I'll come back with a warmer and more practical story next time. Body, mind, and brain. I hope you are always healthy.